Okay, welcome to part 2 of our LS swap into the Colorado. Since last time we spoke, we did decide to order a set of fancy customized engine mounts just to make this easier. It's pretty tight getting this engine in and out of here, so the less times we got to pull it in and out, we figured it was worth the money. Where did we get those from, Seth?
Badland Industries.
So these come from Badlands. These guys are awesome. They had them in stock. They shipped them same day. We got them like 2 days later. Also, we've been working on the motor. We got our new super tight fit manifolds on. Got things cleaned up a little bit so it looks a little better. We got to change out these tranny lines from our donor truck to the Colorado lines. Hopefully we can match them right back up to our radiator. And we are ready to go. Just a couple minutes ago, I was tracking down this this plug that activates the four-wheel drive up front, and we tracked it back down to this big plug in the engine compartment. Unfortunately, there are 6 more wires coming out of that plug. We are not sure where they go, so we're going to take this last bit of looming apart. I want to see where these go before we cut them off, because we don't want to have to splice things back together if we don't have to. So anyway, today's the big day. We're going to get this thing in the truck on its new mounts and see what we have for fitment issues. Other than that, I think we're ready to get started. So we're going to go see what we can do. Alright, so we just finished isolating all our wires. This is our throwaway pile. And this is where it's coming out of the fuse box. For now, I just kept them long and just tied them together to get them out of the way. But basically, all we ended up needing was the, this is a ground set. And then these wires here went to the transfer case plugs. And then this set of wires here goes to the front diff. Otherwise, this is it. So basically this plug right here, and you know, a little bit of power and a little bit of ground out of the fuse box. That's all we need. Everything else is completely gone out of this engine compartment. No wiring to deal with, which is awesome. Again, it's all on the ground. This thing is ready to go in. We just got to go pick up our wiring harness from Grant, who's been getting it ready for the 5.3. We're going to plug everything in and we're going to set this thing in. We've got our new Badlands motor mounts in, and we are ready for go.
Well, we got the LS in the Colorado, and it was a fucking bitch, won't lie. Right?
Well,
It kind of...
yeah, I mean, we obviously run into some problems that no one's told us about with the driver's side engine mount. Zeph, why don't you show me what we found?
So, we haven't really seen anyone talk about this on forums or anything. So, here you go. There.
Yeah, but
Our headers are running into the motor mount, the factory motor mount plate on the back side. The front side is barely clearing, but the back here we had to cut a whole bunch off there. So you can, I guess you can get a rough idea of how much we cut off. You can see the bolt head there. So just above the bolt, you got to chop it that far down. So you got to get like 1.5 inches off that motor mount, and then it barely clears. Ours is still like barely touching, so we're gonna have to bend the tab over or something. But we did that to get the motor in, or to get it in. And then maybe put your chains in a spot that you can actually get them back off, because the back of the head not very accessible right now.
super fun. Show them our wiring.
Oh, well, you explain that, because I haven't been doing any. Well, this is our harness made by our buddy Grant. He made up a whole fuse box. He labeled all the wires, checked you know, check engine, everything, OBD2, etc. And then we went through the factory truck harness, and this is like the only wires we really needed. Do you want to explain what these are that we kept? This is T-case.
These are the transfer case.
So for the push button transfer case.
So this is so that the transfer case will activate, and then these are just transfer case sensors.
And then where's the speedometer wire?
The speed sensor wire is down on the transmission right now. This is some grounds that we gotta.
No, the speedometer wire.
Yeah,
it is cooked up.
It's down. No,
no,
it's down on the tail of the transmission, waiting for the transfer case to go in.
Isn't it? It's up here.
No, well,
Okay.
All right. Well, this is the end of what we'll call part 2 on the engine swap here. I got the battery sitting over here. I ordered a new battery tray that we're going to just, mock up, and we'll end up putting it over here. Run a battery cable across, tied it into the junction here. Brought another cable up, tied into the Colorado fuse box. Tied our new fuse box into the outside of there. And we've basically just been working through some of these wires. At this point, though, I tapped into the ignition from the new motor, and I tapped into the fuel pump relay here, and run a quick wire into the cab. We got our push button start, and when we turn the key on and hit the button, we get the engine to roll over, and it calls for fuel. So we just jankily threw our fuel lines on just to kind of get an idea here if we could actually do anything. It's kind of interesting because I was just at the auto parts store, and I was buying some coolant hoses for, hooking up the motor. And what I realized is, they built this Colorado with a 5.3 in it. So, we're running around and we're buying custom motor mounts, and we're cutting into the perches on the frame and all this stuff. But I could have just ordered a set of motor mounts and a set of manifolds off of a, Colorado with the 5.3 in it. I looked them up when we were at the auto store just now. They should have bolted right on here and went in without any modifications at all. And price-wise, they're not any more money than the aftermarket ones. So I'm a little disappointed that maybe we didn't try that route. I am going to try the lower radiator hose because it's over here on this 5.3 and it's over here on the radiator. There's a crazy bent hose that is formed to fit that. So I ordered that from the dealer or from AutoZone just now. I'll update you, as part of the next section of here of what we have. So we've done some grounds. We built a ground here, built it into the ground over here on the block. I took the existing 5.3 ground and threw it down here onto the frame. Wanted to make sure we got some really good grounds on this motor. But all in all, what we're going to try and do here, put a little oil in it, and we're going to give her a test fire. We have not programmed the ECU, to eliminate the security codes or anything like that. But I am expecting that, this thing should give us a quick fire before, the ECU shuts it down. So anyway, we don't have any exhaust on here, and we don't have any coolant or anything like that. But we just want to see how close are we. Then I'll start buttoning up the final wires, getting everything tied together and mounted over here, and we'll kind of kick that off. So as we work towards the end of this one, we're going to see if we can get it to fire, and then that's it. First start. We didn't start it before. We're going to see what happens. Ignore the cloud of smoke in the garage. Got our fancy push button. Come here and see this.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh shit! Fire extinguisher. Underneath.
Yeah, they could have a fuel leak.
Well, at least we got it on video.
Nice! Boys and girls, that's why you have a fire extinguisher.
Holy!
Where did it light from?
It was right by.
The return line?
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, right here.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the return line's melted.
oh my god. Well.
That's a wrap for the night.